Hello everyone. As in the previous session, we have discussed about cash book, single column cash book and double column cash book. So we have studied that in cash book we record only those transactions which are related to cash, whereas in subsidiary books we record all non-cash transactions. So these subsidiary books are purchases book, sales book, purchases return book which is known as return outwards, sales return book which is also known as return inwards, bills payable book, bills receivable book and journal proper. See, subsidiary books are maintained by big business where there is large number of transactions. So the businessman prepare different subsidiary books to record all these transactions. So in this video we will learn how to prepare subsidiary books. So the first subsidiary book is purchases book. Now in purchases book all credit purchases of goods are recorded in purchases book because cash purchases we have recorded in cash book. So in purchases book we will record all the credit purchase transaction of goods. Now goods here means those things which is purchased for the purpose of resale, that is goods. So we have to record only credit purchases of goods in purchases book. Second is credit purchase of asset is recorded in the journal. Now if the business is purchasing an asset instead of goods, it will not be recorded in purchases book, it will be recorded in journal. It will be recorded in journal proper. For example, if a cloth dealer purchased furniture for his shop for the seating of the customer, then it will be treated as asset. But if the same cloth dealer purchases cloth for the purpose of resale, it will be treated as goods. Now, second subsidiary book is sales book. In sales book also, all the credit sale of goods are recorded in sales book because cash sales have been recorded in cash book. So here we will only record credit sales of goods. Goods, those things which are purchased for the purpose of resale. Credit sale of asset is recorded in journal. So credit sale of asset will not be recorded in sales book, it will be recorded in journal proper. Third subsidiary book is purchases return book, which is also known as return outward book. So purchases return book is used to record the return of such goods as were purchased on credit basis. So in purchases return book we will record those transactions. For example, if a business has purchased a goods on credit and now he has returned some of the goods because of defective goods, so these transactions will be recorded in purchases return book. In purchases return book, we have to record the purchases on credit basis. Return on purchase on credit basis. So next subsidiary book is sales return book, which is also known as return inward book. So sales return book is used to record the return of such goods as were sold to the customer on credit basis. So in sales return book, we record all those transactions related to the goods which have been sold to the customer and the customer by some reason return the goods to the supplier. These goods should be sold on credit basis. Now, fifth is bills receivable book and sixth is bills payable book. These two subsidiary books are not in your syllabus. So we will, in this video, we will just learn how to solve the questions based on purchases book, sales book, purchases return book and sales return book. So here is the format of purchases book. This is question number 13 of NCERT, page number 157. Now, according to the question says, enter the following transaction in the purchase journal book of Miss Gupta Traders of July 2017. So here we have to maintain the book of purchases book of Gupta Trader. This is the format of purchases book where the first column consists of date, then name of supplier, invoice number, ledger folio column, details and amount. Now, on 1st July, bought from Rahul Traders as per invoice number 20041. So here the date is 1st of July 2017, July 1st. Name of a trader is Rahul Traders. Invoice number is 20041. Now, bought from Rahul Traders 40 registered at the rate of 60 each. 40 registered at the rate of rupees 60 each. That means the total amount will be 40 into 60, which is 2400. Now, second is 80 gel pens at the rate 15 each. So, 80 gel pens at the rate rupees 15 each. That means amount will be 80 into 15, 1200. Third is 50 notebooks at the rate 20 each. 50 notebooks at the rate rupees 20 each. So here the amount will be 50 into 20, which is 1000. Now there is a trade discount of 10% also. So we will deduct trade discount of 10%. Here the total amount is, total purchases amount is 4600. Now we will less, or we will subtract trade discount, which is 10%. So 10% of 4600 will be rupees 460. So we will deduct 460. Now by subtracting 460 from 4600, we will get the amount 4140. So 4140 is the total amount which has been purchased from Rahul Traders. Now, next date is 15th of July. July 15. So in July 15, bought from Global Stationers as per invoice number 1132. So the name of supplier here is Global Stationers. See, Miss Gupta trader is dealing with the stationery traders. That means she is dealing the business in stationery. So Global Stationers, from Global Stationer, Miss Gupta has purchased 40 ink pads. 40 ink pads at the rate rupees 8. Invoice number here is 1132. Now 40 ink pads at the rate 8, which means 40 into 8 will be 320. Next is 50 files at the rate 10 each, which means 50 into 10 is 500 rupees. Now, third is 20 color books at the rate 20 each. So, 20 color books at the rate 20 each. So, 20 into 20 will be 400. And at last, there is a trade discount of 5%. Now, we will total the amount of purchase, which is 1220. So from this amount we will subtract the trade discount of 5%. Less trade discount 5%. So 5% of 1220 will be is 61. So we will deduct this trade discount from the total amount of purchase. The amount we will get is 1159. Now the third transaction is, which is on 23rd July 2017, purchased from Lamba Furniture as per invoice number 3201. Now this transaction of purchasing furniture will not be recorded in the purchases book because furniture is an asset. Furniture is considered as an asset and we do not record any asset in purchases or sales book. Assets are recorded in the journal book. So we will not record this transaction. Now the next transaction is on 25th July 2017. Bought from Mumbai Traders as per invoice number 1111. So transaction date is 25th July. Name of trader is Mumbai Traders. Invoice number is 1111 and the details are 10 paper rim at the rate rupees 100 per rim. So the total amount will be 10 into 100, that is 1000. Next is 400 drawing sheets at the rate rupees 3 each. So the total amount will be 400 into 3, 1200. And the last is 20 packets watercolor at the rate rupees 40 per packet. So the total amount will be 20 into 40, which is 800. Now by adding total amount of purchase, we will get rupees 3000. So by adding all the amount, we will get 8299. 8299 will be the total purchase of Miss Gupta Traders. So this is how question based on purchases book is solved. We have to solve the sales book also in the similar manner. Sales book format is same and we have to solve it in the same way. So now here is the format of purchases return book. This is question number 15 of NCERT, page number 157. Now in purchases return book also there is a column for date, then name of supplier to whose account is to be debited. Now why supplier's account is debited? For example, if we have purchased something from the supplier and now we are returning some of the goods to the supplier, so these goods will be a loss for the supplier and loss is always debited. That is why supplier's account is debited when in case of purchases return book. So that is why we will prepare debit note number also. Then ledger folio column, details and amount. Now, according to the question is prepare a purchases return book from the following transaction for April 2017. So, year is 2017 and month is April. Now, first transaction is return goods to Miss Karthik Traders. Date is April 5 and goods is returned to, name of the supplier will be Miss Karthik Traders. Debit note number is not given in the question, so we'll leave this column as blank. Ledger folio is not given and the amount is 1200. So the total amount will also be 1200. Next transaction is on 10th April. April 10th. Goods returned to Sahil Private Limited. So the name of supplier is Sahil Private Limited. And the amount is 2500. Total amount will also be 2500. Third transaction is on April 17. Goods returned to Miss Kohinoor Traders for the list price 2000 less 10% trade discount. Now here the name of supplier is Miss Kohinoor Traders. And the amount here is 2000, but there is a trade discount also, so we will subtract trade discount of 10%. So 10% of 2000 will be 200. So amount here will be 1800. Now last transaction is on April 28. Return outwards to Miss Handa Traders. Now return outwards is known as purchases return. So purchases return to Miss Handa Traders. Name of supplier will be Miss Handa Traders and the amount is 550. So total amount will also be 550. 50. So these were the 4 transactions in purchases return book. Now we will calculate the sum of total amount. Sum of total amount will be 6050. So this amount will be total purchases return amount. So this is how purchases return book is prepared. In the same way, sales return book is also prepared, but the difference is in sales the account of the supplier is credited and a credit note is prepared. So with this, we have completed chapter number 4 of accountancy, which was recording of transaction part 2. In the next session, we will continue with